Hello everyone, as a part of this video, I'm going to show you how you can write the test scenarios and test cases with the help of AI tool. So I'm going to use two tools today as a part of this video. One is going to be ChatGPT and one is going to be Copilot. So as a part of this video, I'm going to show you how you can write test scenarios and test cases with the help of the AI tools. So we are not going to use manually to do it. We will generate it completely from the AI tool. Every automation tester, every manual tester of different organizations who are working in different company, irrespective of your year of experience, can definitely follow this strategy in your own organization, wherever you guys are working, right? No matter your company is asking you to follow this approach or not follow this approach, no matter they're asking you or not asking, but you can definitely follow this approach. If you're literally following this approach, then you will have a lot of better productivity. You can fetch more number of bugs. You will end up testing your application or given component with more number of test scenarios and more number of test cases. And indirectly, you will be able to fetch more number of bugs because you can also uh, create more number of test scenarios with the help of design techniques. So AI tools can give you more number of test scenarios and more number of test cases for any given requirement. All you have to do at the starting is you have to first let the system understand that what is your given requirement. If you explain your requirement to the AI tool can generate the test scenarios and test cases all by itself. If you have a little bit knowledge about this subject, then you can definitely utilize ChatGPT or Copilot directly. But if you don't have this knowledge about this particular subject, then I will highly recommend you to watch out my video on how to write the test scenarios and test cases from scratch in my videos that I have added it in the description. Thank you so much. So let us get started, guys. So I'm sure you all are able to see my screen. And here, you can talk with the ChatGPT. You can explain your requirement to the ChatGPT, and ChatGPT can literally understand your given requirement. And based on that, it can act upon. I'm just giving you a simple scenario as of now. Hear me carefully, everyone. So I have a login feature in which my username accepts a mobile number with country code. The application is only applicable for Indian users. That means with mobile number, the login can be done. And with country code also login can be done. And it also accepts email ID, any valid email ID. And for the password, it accepts any password between the range of 6 to 16. Every password must have alpha, numeric, and special characters in it. Can you help me to design more number of test scenarios and test cases? Include all the test case design techniques that can be useful. Avoid over testing, please. Thank you. So guys, whenever you are talking with your ChatGPT or Copilot tool, first remember one thing that you should make the system understand about your particular feature or about your given application. If you're not able to explain that what exactly your feature is or what exactly your application behavior is, your ChatGPT will never be able to give you the right answer. Please remember that. You have to use such words like what is the actual range of values it is going to accept, because as of now I have given the complete knowledge about my requirement to the given application. I hope I have given the complete information, but if I think something is missing, you can also ask ChatGPT tool to please ask me any question if you want to know, because based on that also you can help me to generate more number of test scenarios and more number of test cases. So I can ask everything from it. And I also said it that avoid doing over testing means I just don't want my AI tools to give me same kind of repeated scenario. So since I have typed it, I'm just going to press the enter button now. So it is telling me that, okay, Manish, I'm going to follow equivalence class partitioning. I'm going to follow the boundary value analysis. I'm going to follow the decision table. Uh, I'm also going to follow the negative testing and some security and UX scenarios as well. Okay, so it is telling me that it supports mobile number India only with country code and without country code. Email ID valid format. So this is a requirement of my username and this is a requirement of my password. So first it has explained me again that this is your given requirement. Okay, so it is telling me that from equivalence class partitioning, you can test it with 10-digit mobile number, and you can also try with +91. If you try with less than 10, then what will happen? It will get rejected. If you try with more than 10 digit, then what will happen? That will also be rejected. If you try non-numeric value, means alphanumeric, then also it will be rejected. If you try with invalid country code, then also it will be getting rejected. I'm pretty sure all of you know the meaning of equivalence partition technique. In case you don't know, you can check out the video which I have already posted in my YouTube channel. It is also available in the link description. You may please check it out. So it is also telling me the same thing for email also, like valid email, missing at the rate, it will be rejected. Domain missing means test at the rate of what.com is missing, right? Name is missing, domain name is missing. Special character usage at the rate of means special characters. So that will also be rejected. It is also telling me that alpha numeric special characters will be accepted. Only alphabets will be rejected. Only numeric will be rejected. Missing special characters will be rejected because my requirement was very clear. I clearly said it in my requirement that it will only accept the combination of alphanumeric plus special characters. So that exactly it has given me the result. And lesser than 6 characters will also be rejected. Greater than 16 characters will also be rejected. So I have explained the requirement clearly to it. And based on that, it is telling me that what will be accepted and what will be rejected. On top of that, it is also making use of some boundary value analysis. So it is telling me that if you use password 5, that is minimum -1, then it will be rejected. If you use 6, that is a minimum requirement that I have, so it will be accepted. If you use minimum +1, that will also be accepted. And in case you are using uh, the maximum -1, then that will also be accepted because maximum was 16. So 16 -1 is also be accepted. If you use maximum, that is 16, so that will also be accepted. If you use maximum +1, that is 16 +1, so that will be getting rejected. So it is telling me the requirement very clearly that for each input, whether it will be accepted or rejected. So it is explaining me very clearly that if you follow this strategy, what really is going to happen. So it is also telling me that let's follow the decision table to understand whether login will really happen or not happen. So it is telling me that if you are going to use the valid mobile number with a valid password, login will be successful. If you're going to use valid email ID and if you're going to use the valid password, then login is really going to be successful. If you're going to use a mobile invalid number and password valid, then definitely login will not happen. Error message will come because your mobile number is going to be invalid. If you're going to enter the email also as invalid, then also login will not happen. If you are going to type the valid username but invalid password, then also login will not happen. If you're going to type the invalid username and invalid password, then definitely login will not happen. You will end up getting the error message. So it is giving very clear instructions of the decision table that in which scenario what is really going to happen. So it is also telling you that these are functional scenarios that you can definitely try. Let me read some for you. Login with valid mobile number with country code plus valid password. Okay. So for each and everything that it said me above, right, it has generated the test scenarios for me, for negative also, for security related also, for usability also. So it has given me everything, right? So it is telling me that test case 1 is going to be login with mobile number, no country code. Input is going to be this expected you're expecting login successful. So it has given you everything. I mean, any person who have a knowledge about the test scenarios and test case template, right, can easily convert this into it. But still, I want to tell you that there is no need of any effort. You can directly tell it to convert into the test case template. It can actually do it for you. Watch out, I'm going to show you. Can you please help me in converting these test scenarios and test cases into the test case template? So in my office, currently, we are following the test case template where the first column that we have is called as test case ID. The second column is a test scenario. The third column is called as a precondition. The fourth column is steps to reproduce. And then we have expected behavior. Then we have actual behavior. And then we have the bug ID. And then we have the result. And then we have automated. I mean, where we have to mention true or false, whether it is automated or not automated. So can you please convert all these test scenarios and test cases into the test case template? Thank you. If I literally want to convert this into the test case template, so earlier we used to write it by all ourselves, but now it is not required. Actually speaking, you can actually generate it using AI tool. So it can give you every knowledge, as you can see. So it is telling you that once you do that, login should be successful. Uh, so it is giving you entire information that if you try with login with mobile number format, +91 mobile format, okay. Login with valid format, email ID. Invalid mobile number lesser than 10 digit, invalid mobile number non-numeric, invalid country code, invalid email format. For everything, it is telling you that what is the scenario, what is the precondition for that, what is the steps to reproduce for that, what are you expecting, what is expected behavior for that, and whether it is automated or not. That automated or not, you have to mention it at the last because it's you who will decide whether it is really automated or not, or it's you who knows whether it is automated or not. So that can be filled at the last. Initially, writing is not required, right? And I'm pretty sure you all have understood why it is not giving any input for actual behavior, bug ID, and result. Because expected behavior will come from the requirement. Requirement is clear to it. So that is why it has given me the expected behavior. The reason it has not given me the actual behavior and the bug ID, because actual behavior we will only come to know once after practically doing it in the real application. So we first write the test scenarios and test cases. After writing the test scenarios and test cases, we get it reviewed from someone from our team. That is called as test case review process. How to do the test case review process, that also video I have uploaded it on my channel. I have also pasted in my link description. You may please check it out. And so that will be filled by you later. And based on the actual behavior and expected behavior, we can actually understand whether it is result is pass or fail, right? The result will be pass or fail depends on uh, whether your expected and actual behavior is same or different. If your actual behavior and expected behavior both are same, then your result will be pass. That you have to write it after your test case review process. And if the both are not matching, then that result is going to be failure. Whenever the result is going to be failure, right? So you have to go and raise bug in the bug tracking tool, and you have to mention here the bug ID. What will be the bug ID? You will come to know only after raising the bug, right? How to raise a bug, also separately video I have uploaded on my channel. If you want, you can please check it out. So it has given me the entire test scenarios and test cases. So you can see almost 25 scenarios it has given me. If I be very honest with you, this is more than enough number of test scenarios and test cases that it has actually given to me. This is more than enough. And some company use uh, some company use this kind of test case template. Some company also use test data as one column. So you can also ask it whether I can really use it or not. You can have a look. So my team lead told me that while doing the review process, he said me that there should also be one more column called as test data, where all the test data will be mentioned. So do you recommend me to add it? In case yes, can you please show me how does it look like after adding it to my existing template? Thank you so much. So some company utilize test case template in this fashion, guys. That's exactly what I have done. So you can see it. So test data is also being added, like what will be username and what will be password, right? So this is called as test data, where it is again giving you very clear instruction that this is going to be test scenario, this is going to be your precondition, this is going to be your username, this is going to be your password, this is going to be your steps to reproduce, and this is going to be your expected behavior. So this is how you can do it with the help of Copilot also. Here also you can write down the same thing and it can literally give you the report. If you want, I can show you, just because I have already written here my prompt, right? I'm just going to copy it here and paste it here. It should help me. Let's see. So this is Copilot tool by Microsoft. So it is also giving you almost same kind of result. Once it has given me, I can ask it to create it into template. Let's see whether it is really able to do it for me or not. So this is also giving me very clearly. So this is going to be my test case ID. This is going to be my test scenario, preconditions, steps to reproduce, expected behavior, actual behavior. And it has also given me everything now, right? It is asking me copy the table and go and paste it into your um, Excel sheet, or download this table. Once after downloading it, import it in the form of Excel sheet. It has been downloaded now. You can just import it directly. Let me try that out also. So I'm going to my Excel sheet. After that, I'm going to the blank sheet. After that, I'm going to click on import, upload, and I have imported it now. So so easily everything has come here. Steps 1, 2, 3, and everything. So it has given me almost 12 scenarios. So this is giving me only 12 scenarios, and test case and the ChatGPT is giving me almost 25 scenario. I will go with this one because here they're also making use of some SQL related scenarios also, which is related to the uh, security of any application, whether if I try to write the username in this format, what really will happen. So I think this is more better as per my knowledge. So if I have to choose between the result which both of the tools has given me, I think I will go with the ChatGPT for this particular scenario, right? So I hope this video was helpful, guys. If yes, let me know in the comment section. If you want me to make more videos on AI tools, you can put it in the comment section and I will give my best to you guys. Thank you so much.